What's going on, guys? I'm Andrew, and I started the channel about 3 years ago where I was pretty dedicated to only showing you guys the different makes and models of pool type RVs as they physically arrived here at this location, the RV dealership that I work for in Meridian, Mississippi. However, I'm also attached to a company called Johnson Homes, and if there are times where there is some space available, they will send some pretty interesting things down here. And recently, there have been several events that have happened in the United States where FEMA could definitely be utilizing several of these 12 by 64, 2-bedroom, 1-bath FEMA houses that they sold at the different auctions across the United States. So really not understanding that. I'm hoping some of you guys can explain it to me, but we're going to take a look at the inside as well as the out. But if you're new here, I do welcome you to the channel, and let's get started. So this is called a 12 by 64. Some people call it a FEMA cottage, but it's actually called a Scott built, and there are different manufacturers that have actually built the same exact design. So you might see some that look alike, but the manufacturer is actually different. But these are going to be called Scott built. So the company that actually I work for, they have a manufactured home location about 5 miles north, and if there is some space available when we have it here on frontage road, they will bring down some pretty interesting things, and these have been showing up a lot. And honestly speaking, like over the course of maybe the last 2 or 3 years, they come in and new and used, and whenever they have space available back there, they will come and get them and take them back. However, I've sold several of these as well for them, just from random people coming in looking at destination models that were interested in something that was permanent, that actually did decide to switch over to something more like this. So dimension wise, again, 12 by 64. They do in fact deliver. These can be set up just like a mobile home, and this big shiny thing on the front is going to be your heating and air, but of course that's just there for transportation purposes. This is going to be removed. Wind zone rating is rated at 3, so that means this thing can sustain winds of upwards of 110 miles per hour. So engineering perspective wise, I think is built quite well. 2 by 6 sidewall construction, and if you notice along the frame of these things, it is just loaded with different tie-down straps. There's got to be at least a good 10 to 15 just on one side. Plus, down there on the frame, there's also more additional straps along the main I-beam of the RV. I'm sorry, the actual trailer, to secure it even more. So this is the front, and I guess you could call this the back, or I guess you could get creative and just decide which side you want. So we're going to make our way inside of the middle one here. This one's already set up with steps, but just here in 2024, there have been millions of people stranded from natural disasters, like several hurricanes that have like practically wiped out Florida, South Carolina, parts of Georgia, Alabama. It's just crazy. These things are built extremely well. Look at this. 2 by 6 sidewall, so that's where you're going to get a lot of that wind zone rating 3 at. This is a sheetrock. It's not floated because you got the strips, of course, where all the seams are at. The paneling roof, by the way, the attic, vented attic, which helps a lot when it comes to the heating and air conditioning. That big huge thing you saw over the outside, that's the cover right now covering the air conditioning in the furnace, but notice the vents, several in the ceiling. That's of course for your heat and your air conditioning. 12 feet wide, 64 roughly, probably 64 feet long. I think the 64 has to do with the tongue, possibly something that's on the back as well. Electric stove, residential appliances right there, so a lot easier to switch out if you in fact have something go out. Stainless steel sink, plastic faucet, you got GFI outlets all along the wall. From an engineering perspective though, it's built extremely well. Let's make our way though, possibly all the way to the back. We'll look at the bedroom. I gotta pull out the flashlight for the bathroom. Right here you've got washer and dryer connections. On board there is a residential water heater. I think it's like right at 20 gallons. This is your main circuit breaker. 200 amp service, by the way. I think I already said that, but that's the panel for it. I'll show you the connections outside. 12 feet wide, probably 12 by 12 box, honestly, maybe 12 by 14. All the furniture was included. Really tall ceilings also. Possibly, I'm gonna get my hand up there, maybe around 8 feet, 8.5 feet tall ceilings. Pretty decent sized closet. But again, FEMA right now is going through several things where money has been short. And it's like you find these things always showing up here now. I'm just curious. I haven't looked at things from a logistics standpoint, but I think they kind of need these things. So if you know a guy tell them to reach out to me. You definitely hook them up. This company has several new, and again, this is the 2017, and it's brand new and used. So I'm gonna do my best to hold my flashlight to give you guys some light, but handicap also, so extra wide doors. So that's very great to have. You got pull handles around the toilet as well as the shower. So dimension wise, if I could give you an idea, you're probably at 6 feet wide, possibly at least 14, 15 feet long, 8.5 foot ceilings. This is a porcelain toilet, porcelain sink, and again, I apologize for the lighting. I have again plugged this thing up to a 50 amp service just to turn the lights on because they needed some pictures for their website. So plugging it up that way was the best and quickest way for me to get some photos. Back door or possibly the front door, I guess you could decide on that. Washer and dryer connections, that's a better look for you there. Sprinkler system, I'm really curious to see how that is maybe connected on the outside. That's going to be your thermostat, and of course it has all the fire extinguishers, the microwave. I think some of them have shown up with like light fixtures in boxes. Some of them have shown up pre-owned, and I understand that from a logistics point, like why you've gotten rid of it. Maybe it's been used before and you want to get rid of that, but something like this is still brand new, still banded together from the original manufacturer. There's your smoke detector, CO2 detector. Check out the ventilation because you have no heating vents in the floor. Everything's again located up in the ceiling. That's a huge unit on the front. That's your heat and your air, all electric, no gas inside the, I keep wanting to say RV, but this is a trailer. So these, in fact, that I'm showing you are sold. There is a gentleman that has purchased all of these. He is setting up an RV, I keep saying RV, a trailer park, I do believe for veterans. So that's a very cool thing that I think he is doing. Really do appreciate you for doing that. Continue to like and subscribe, by the way. Let me know what you guys think down below. What do you guys think of stuff like this? Should I show more of it or less of it? Again, I tried to stick with just strictly, you know, with the pull type, fifth wheel, and travel trailer over the course of the last few years. Some of the cabinetry is definitely plastic. It's not real solid wood. GFI outlets there. Hood vent. I'm curious to see, is it vented out? I'll have to see how that actually goes out. I think it probably is just going to recirculate. All electric oven. Decent sized fridge. Residential appliances, same thing that again you can go over to like your local hardware store and get these replaced. Very, very cool furniture. I'm curious to see, this was manufactured in 17. Still seems to be in excellent condition. I'll try to leave a phone number for them. You can reach out to those guys, and if you're interested in something like this, but let them know maybe you saw the video with Andrew on Camper Kingdom, and maybe they'll give you a discount if it's something you're interested in. Let's come over here to the back side. I guess I can look at this one. They're all the same. Let's see maybe where some of these connections are at. Outside GFI outlet. Your windows. Dual pane windows. mosswindowsupply.com. I should have shown you guys FEMA's phone number. It's displayed on the door. Freshwater connections here. Huh, that's pretty interesting. Little shut-off valve. This connection for right there. 200 amp service. I guess it's somewhere under the floor. Drain outlet is also there. I do believe that's the box on the previous one that my electrician actually tapped into with a 50 amp service. So that's probably where the connections are going to come all the way back to here. That's going to be the sprinkler system for the back. Asphalt roof, shingled roof, and this I guess is your sprinkler system if you decide to hook that up. But honestly, what would you guys use this for? The guy again that's purchased most of these is setting it up for a veterans mobile home park, which is very cool. I think several of these things have sold to customers that are using them for like deer camps here in the local area around Meridian, Mississippi. You know, they offer financing regardless of credit, so that's a pretty cool thing that they do for individuals that is looking to purchase this thing. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Continue to like, trying to get out of the sun there for you, and subscribe. Come see us.